X Games MasterCraft Throwdown, brought to you by GM Marine. Tales from the Blob. The Godfrey ladies there teaching us when in air, prepare. And Parks, that looked probably more painful than it was, but she knew exactly what to do, man. Went down, covered the nose, and then popped back up, rocked on.
I find it funny just plugging your nose when she's about to do a 50-foot
This is my favorite
flop.
part right here. Yeah.
Love it.
Giving the crowds here in Grand Rapids what they want. So we continue with the wakeboarding portion here of the Throwdown. Up next, a heat I know you're looking forward to, Parks. Pieretti versus the local boy, Mike Dowy.
Yeah, this is two of the young guns out of these 4 heats. Both of these dudes are loose cannons. Mike Dowdy's pretty much landed like the last 3 hardest tricks in wakeboarding he's landed in the past few years. So he has a target on his back, and he's probably one of the ones who could possibly take down Harley if he gets through Mossy. Mossy has the tricks to take down Dowdy as well. So hopefully Mossy doesn't disappoint a hometown crowd here.
That's right. Michigan native, grew up just 90 minutes outside of Grand Rapids. But up first in this heat, the Italian, Pieretti, our youngest competitor out here today at just 20 years old.
Yeah, Mossy learned to wakeboard actually on Lake Como in Italy. It's pretty much the most gorgeous lake that you could possibly.
Learned to wakeboard on Lake Como and spent his winter snowboarding on the Italian Alps. Who does that?
Who does that? Mossy does. And he goes so big, too. There it is, wrap backside 540, locking in the grab. You see guys, when they grab that wrap handle, they're going to hold that grab as long as they can, and Mossy almost poked my eye out on that one. There it is, the double cab roll, and just going down on his second trick.
He really went for that, Parks. And like we said, you can't afford to put down a safety run this early because you only get 1 run. So there he is putting it out there, but he can't even complete 2 tricks as we take another look what happened.
Looks like he just got his nose kind of punched through the wake a little bit, and he just got caught up, not getting a full rotation. Looks like he needed a couple more feet of air on that to kind of get his center of weight back over his board. You see as he comes down, his toe rail just digs right into the water, and it pops the handle right out of his hand. You come up short. That's a hard trick to pull out of.
So disappointing for Mossy because he was having a great practice earlier this morning. We felt really good about what he had in store for today, but there you see that score of 22.33. Very disappointing, and that really opens the door for Mike Dowy. He doesn't really have to do much, just essentially complete a run.
Yeah, just get through 4 tricks. Pressure's off now. You know, this isn't a freebie, but you still have to go out there, complete at least a couple tricks.
Yeah,
that first trick Mossy did was a decent backside 5, so, you know, as easy as it is, anything can happen out here. But I have a feeling Dowdy's focused. He's I've talked to him, and he's really into this event, loves the format, and I think it suits his riding. He has 4 tricks that could possibly take down any one of these guys in this event. And, you know, he's psyched. He's got family, friends, everyone on the shore here.
Yep. Well, with so many friends and family here, let's learn a little bit more about Mike Dowy.
Mike he's probably the most confident kid I've ever hung out with. Like, he's confident to the point where some people think he's cocky, but, you know, if you just got to know him, you realize that he is actually just that confident in himself and his riding. I think he's really motivated to, like, be amazing. Like, he's really motivated to be the best wakeboarder in the world. You know, him and Harley have this weird tension thing because they're both, like, kind of biting at each other's heels all the time.
You know, he's the one everyone's talking about right now. The hardest tricks landed in the past, like, few years have all been from Mike Dowy.
I feel like Dowdy's really one of the true innovators of the sport, and I'm stoked to have him as, you know, one of the up-and-coming guys that's going to give Harley a run for his money.
The Throwdown being in Michigan is like huge for me. I get to finally go home and ride kind of on my home turf and, you know, be around my family and close friends.
Oh gosh, a win in Michigan would be amazing. I mean, a win period is pretty awesome regardless, but to be in our home state and to have, you know, all of our closest friends and family up there supporting him.
It's huge to come home to the biggest event, and I'm just, you know, psyched to be there, and it would be pretty unreal to make finals and to even win. I mean, that would just be next level, so I'm really hoping I can do well at this event.
Parks, I love that line from Aaron Rathy, motivated to be amazing, because you see the laser focus from this guy, and he may pose the biggest threat to the odds-on favorite, Harley Clifford.
Oh, absolutely. If there's anyone who's probably favored to beat Harley, it's Mike Dowdy. He does a lot of trampoline training in Florida and up in Michigan. He's got great coaches, and you know, you can see in his riding, starting off with a super steezy little method there. Coming in, he knows he doesn't have to do a hard run, so he's just probably going to try to keep his hair dry on this run.
Right.
Huge toe side 900 there for Dowdy.
Again, Pieretti falling on his second trick attempt, so he can afford a safety run here, Mike Dowdy.
And there it is, the double back roll.
Wow.
Locking in the Indy grab all the way around.
He's leaving it all out in the water here on attempt number 1.
Absolutely. Well, you know, after he has a couple tricks and he knows that he's going to probably beat Mossy, why not practice a couple tricks for the next round?
Great point.
And I saw him fall on that double in practice, so he wanted to get another one under his belt, and clearly his hair's still dry.
So we take another look. The Dowdy fam approves.
Yeah, who doesn't like that? Huge double back roll there for Dowdy. Front side 900 falling out of the sky. Plenty of time. Possibly a 1080 here in the finals if he can get through a couple more rounds. And then he ends with a heel side front side 900 as well. Dowdy not holding back as much as you thought he was for having like a cupcake kind of like run there that he could have got through.
Well, let's not forget, just last month, Mike Dowdy became the first ever to land a wake-to-wake 1260.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's actually, I think it's been 8 years since Danny Harf landed the 1260 off the double up. So the fact that Dowdy is doing it off the wake nowadays, you can just see how far the sport's coming and how these young kids are taking it to a new level.
So an 87.33 for Mike Dowdy, easily advancing. He'll be taking on Shota Tezuka in the semifinals as he makes it to the Final Four, giving the hometown fans and family all that they could ask for there on run number 1. For more, let's head down to Alyssa, who's with Mike.
All right, Mike, so much for a safety run. Yeah. Tell me about that run. What was your strategy there?
My strategy was really just to get some tricks on the board. Massey had an unfortunate fall. It's not something he normally would crash on. So once he fell after his second trick, I knew I just had to get some points on the board. And after I did that 9, I just decided to go for it.
So we have, out of the 8 riders here, 5 countries represented, but only 1 guy from Michigan. You're the local favorite. What is it like to compete in front of your hometown crowd?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Everything here is, you know, like, it's insane to be here in front of my hometown and all that. And I mean, relatively hometown, I guess. But yeah, it's cool to be home in Michigan. I'm stoked.
All right, well, good luck. We'll see you in the quarterfinals.
So Mike Dowdy leaving it all out on the water there on attempt number 1, easily advancing into the semifinal. We're 2 heats here in the quarters. It's Shota Tezuka taking on Mike Dowdy in the semis, but still 2 more matchups to come with some heavy hitters still on deck. So much fun stuff going on here at Millennium Park. The Godfrey clan has absolutely taken over the water. From the blob to more of the, I love this park because it's like it's almost a battle of attrition here. A kneeboard taking on a ramp. How's this one gonna end?
Oh my gosh, don't land on the kneeboard. That could be a little harder than the water. I'm pretty sure that kicker's not regulation.
Getting some height there is one of the Godfrey boys, and they're having fun.
I think I blew my knee out just watching that.
Of course, Greg Godfrey, the father of all of this, the father of Nitro Circus. Would you expect anything less from his family, who have taken over the waters of Grand Rapids? As we take one more look.
Yeah, it looks like that kicker's so steep that they can't even hang on to the handle going up the face.
No point even having a strap on that knee board right now. So much fun going on here at the MasterCraft Throwdown. More, including a Guinness World Record attempt, when we return. Welcome back to World of X Games. That's the MasterCraft Throwdown, brought to you by GM Marine here at Millennium Park in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Still a lot of wakeboarding to come, but we do have something record-setting in store. For more, let's head down to Alyssa, who's with a special guest.
Thanks, Brando. I'm standing beside Frederick August Krueger IV, the original Freddy Krueger. And later in the show, he's going to attempt to break the world SkiFly record. But the name of the current world record holder, well, that might surprise some of you at home. Let's take a look at what happened yesterday. right, Freddie, that was absolutely incredible. Congratulations are in order. Talk about yesterday. I mean, that was practice.
Well, we had the opportunity to go for the record if the weather was right, and we really were trying to hold out for today, but we're kind of seeing the wind want to swing around from a less favorable direction. So literally at the last second, we said, you know what, let's go for it, and the wind swung right around into the headwind, which is what I need to have an opportunity for a jump like that. So there's a lot of anxiety going through me yesterday, and it was a perfect jump.
Yeah, so the current world record is now 312 feet. What do you have in store for us today later in the show?
Well, honestly, I was talking to my wife last night about that, and we had an opportunity to watch some of the video, and we could, kind of pick some points where, honestly, it could have been a little better here, a little better there. And so we're going to, I'm going to go for it. I really want to get back over 300 again because that's the goal. But, I mean, the thing is, I'm going to go all out. And the difference between 313 and 290 might be that much, but I'm going to give it all I got.
All right, well, guys, you heard it here first. Later in the show, Freddy Krueger going for 313. Forget a football field. We've got to start adding in end zones.
Freddie says a little better here, and I don't know how you get better parks than 312 feet. Broke a record yesterday at practice.
No doubt. I've been watching ski jumping for a long time, and bar none, that was the farthest jump I've ever seen. I was standing with Danny Harf, and I was like, what just happened, man? Like, I seriously hope the crowd here on the sand gets to see it.
Well, the quarterfinal matchup number 3 continues now. It's Bob Soven taking on Rusty Malinoski. This is going to be an interesting matchup because two very different styles led by here. Bob Soven, 23 years old, Longwood, Florida native. Podium threat anytime he enters a contest. But Parks, unlike his older brother Phil, we don't see Bob competing that much anymore.
Yeah, you see Phil do pretty much every contest across the globe, and you see Bob kind of picking and choosing his battles. And, every time we get to watch Bob ride an event, it's always entertaining. He goes so big, grabs so well. That was a stalefish frontside 3. To grab stale, still do a frontside 3 is just ridiculously hard. You never see Bob go wake to wake. Every time he does a trick, he is just charging out into the flats. See him still land out in the trough, a little bit of a butt check. Being a showman, his parents show skied, and, just being the Wake brothers and entertainment that Bob always is, man. He's the most entertaining rider to watch and talk to on and off the water.
So he sticks that run attempt, and it'll be interesting to see how that scored as we take another look at the replays, Parks, because that's exactly what we expected out of Bob Soven.
Yeah, going absolutely huge on that chromo, sticking it, and unfortunately he had a little bit of a bobble on this backside 7, really laying his back into the water, butt check. And when I say butt check, it's when their butt kind of touches the water. So you'll hear me say that. And like I said, these judges are sizing up these tricks head to toe. So every little mistake will count against you.
So we await Soven's score. And again, if you're just joining us, it's a different type of format than most wakeboarding events. A 73 on the dot. So Malinoski has to beat a 73 if he wants to advance. But you got to lay it all out there. You got to put your heaviest tricks out, no safety runs, because you're only getting 4 tricks in 1 attempt. No second runs here.
Absolutely, man. I mean, with 4 tricks and the heats that are, like, the guy across from the next guy is so tough to deal with. So you're going to see every guy going as hard as they can. The same caliber run in the quarters are going to be in the finals, so guys are going for it.
There we see Rusty Malinoski, not only our most physically imposing competitor out here today, but perhaps the hardest working as well. Let's take a look at the work Rusty puts in on and off the water.
Yeah, Russ. Rusty, big guy.
Rusty's an animal. He's so much more intimidating than anyone else on tour.
In a word, I'd describe Rusty as just intense. When he's in the room, you know Rusty's in the room. Plus, he's bigger than every other wakeboarder by, like, head and shoulders, so.
Rusty is definitely a go-getter. He has the hardest work ethic there is in the sport, bar none. You can tell by the way he treats his body, how hard he works out and trains, how often he rides. And just the way he rides is, like, so powerful.
We're up 6 a.m. every day with the kids. Rusty's out the door going to the gym.
What's up? Am I supposed to be drinking a lot of fluids this morning? I've had a coffee. Well, last time I worked out, and I didn't work out for a while, and I don't know if I didn't eat anything or drink anything, and pretty much just passed out. It just got serious.
So what do I gotta check health-wise to not do this? High blood pressure, you can't do CrossFit with high blood pressure, lower back, shoulders, pelvis.
I love CrossFit because it gets your muscles on.
I think the motto for us, and it kind of started with Rusty, but it's work will win when wishing won't. So, you know, a lot of people say, I wish I could have that. I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. And I guess for us, we just make it happen. Wishing isn't going to get you there.
Parks, your approach to working out is so unconventional. I think it works.
Yes, very unorthodox.
I'd like to think you taught Rusty a thing or two. There we see Malinoski at 31 years old, the oldest competitor in the field today, but still on top of the game.
Absolutely. I mean, being the oldest, you know, you probably have to work out as much as Rusty. Well, not as much as Rusty. He really hits it hard in the gym, and it shows. Rusty goes so ballistically big, huge Indy backside 180. That's pretty much as hard as a backside 180 can get right there. There's the mute mode, switch mute mode for Rusty, just breezing through this course and this run, completing 2 tricks. Rusty come in, crow mode 540, locking in the nose grab. Rusty hardly bobbles on any of his tricks. He's one of the most consistent riders on tours, and that's why he's on the podium day in, day out. And you see 4 tricks.
Such a smooth style.
No big deal.
Yeah, so there we see Bob Soven, who put up a 73. Will Malinoski do enough to leapfrog him and get into the semis? Let's take another look.
Here's that first trick. Coming in, locking in, huge Indy poke, backside 180. You know, Rusty has to do a hard run here. Bob had 1 bobble on his backside 7, but he still got 4 tricks in, so Rusty has no room for error as well. And you can see this, typically that landing that far out in the flats, a lot can go wrong on that. And Rusty just powering through it with finesse. Toe side 900, not really getting a grab on that. Notice that Bob grabbed every trick, but he did have a bobble.
An 86.66, so Rusty easily advancing and officially eliminating Bob Soven. It should also be noted, Rusty competed at X Games. The last time wakeboarding was at X Games in 2005, Rusty was there, and of course his brother Robbie has medaled in winter, snowcross plenty of times. But we take a look now at our brackets. After 3 quarterfinals, Rusty Malinoski advancing into the semis. We've got 3 of 4 with just 1 final matchup. But still so much more going on out here at Millennium Park. To give us a little bit more on Watercross, we head down to Alyssa.
Yeah, Brando, the rules of Watercross are pretty loose. I think the Godfrey clan made them up. I've got 2 riders, 2 dirt bikes behind me, and their typical use is right there in the name. But today, they're going to race those bikes on that water. Guy who travels the farthest, well, he wins, moves on to the final.
Seems simple enough, Parks.
Yeah, because dirt bikes belong on water, right?
Well, if Robbie Madison taught us anything, they certainly do.
They got the work cut out for them now.
And this is something that the Godfrey clan, this is something that's natural to them.
This is what they're born to do right here, ride dirt bikes on water. I actually got to try this when we were filming for the Nitro 3D movie. And I am really bad on 2 wheels. I have no business being on a dirt bike, and they told me I could try. There was like 8 of us at the same time, and I made it about 100 feet. You really got to lock your toes underneath the engine, or the water just blows your feet off, and it pulls you right off the bike. So we'll see how they handle here.
I think we have a clear winner. Oh, that is Watercross for you. More to come here from Millennium Park in Grand Rapids, Michigan, when we return. X Games MasterCraft Throwdown, brought to you by GM Marine, where the best of the best and wakeboarding have officially invaded Grand Rapids, Michigan, with the gold medal on the line. We're almost done with the quarterfinals. This is our final heat. Danny Harf taking on Harley Clifford. Parks. What a matchup this is. X Games royalty, 4-time X Games gold medalist Danny Harf taking on perhaps the best competitive wakeboarder in the world, Harley Clifford.
Yeah, this is definitely the heat I've been waiting on, and a lot of people want to see. Yeah, 4-time X Games gold medalist Danny Harf It's been 10 years since he last competed in X Games. And the sport's come a long way. You got young bucks like Harley Clifford that you have to try to advance through, and it is tough. But here comes Danny Harf. First trick coming in on the hills. Heel side, front side 720. Danny, I think this 4-trick format kind of helps Danny. If you have 8 tricks that you have to battle Harley on, Danny,
wow.
Just dropping the handle on the toe side 900, and that is unfortunate, man.
That is a surprise, missing the handle on just his second trick attempt, and you could see the frustration there. Take another look.
Really getting a nice nose grab in on that front side 7. And then coming in, one of the reasons why Danny may have a hard time passing the handle, see how well he locks in that nose grab? All the toe side 900s we saw today, there has not been one grab on it. It looks like he even had the handle.
He had it.
And then it looks like maybe he just grabbed the rubber side of the handle and it just slipped right out of his hands, and you see him just sink into despair.
He can't believe it, and you don't give a guy like Harley Clifford this type of opportunity, because Harley knows all he essentially has to do is land 2 tricks and he'll be advancing.
Yeah, I mean, Danny could have had the tricks put 4 together to put a lot of pressure on Harley, and really that's Harley's bag of tricks are so deep, you have to do 4 hard tricks to make him dig deeper into that bag and have a possibility of falling, because he can usually breeze through any trick, any run, in any conditions, and make it happen. That's why he's just dominating. I don't think he's lost a contest in almost, I think maybe a couple in the last year and a half.
You're looking at 21-year-old Harley Clifford, hailing from the Gold Coast, 3-time King of Wake champion, most dominant wakeboarder on the planet. He's won 13 of 23 contests since the start of 2011.
Man, that is just ridiculous, man. He's so talented. He's been wakeboarding at such a young age and competing in juniors, competing in junior men, and then just dominating the pro field. He's destined for wakeboarding, man. He is what it's all about right now. Doing a couple double flips in his run.
So let's take a look at Harley a little earlier today in practice, trying to dial in his run.
Yeah, a lot of guys I saw fall on the doubles in practice. I think the nerves are setting in on these guys even in practice, and it looks like he landed really hard on that one. The tantrum is not one that you typically want to fall on like that. It can really hurt your ankles. I've had some crashes on those, and it just knocks the wind out of you, peels the board off, shins you, hurts your ankles, and knocks the wind out of you all at the same time.
He's got a sore neck from just a couple of weeks ago. He is the first rider to land back-to-back double flips in a contest, and for what it's worth, he's won at this venue before, a PWT event in 2014. So
yeah, we used to do the MasterCraft Pro Wakeboard Tour here. You know, as if Harley doesn't have a big enough advantage going second and watching Danny go. Harley's riding behind pretty much his personal boat. You know, he has a 2016 MasterCraft X Star at home. He weights that thing up. His wake's so big, so he's so used to this wake. He's already won at this venue. He packs probably about 10,000 pounds into that boat, but with 520 horsepower, to still be able to get on plane in this short course of the venue.
Well, they call him the Phenom, and I think he's about to show you why. All he's got to do is beat a score of 21, so we'll see just how safe he plays it, as he's got to feel pretty good with his chance to get into the semis.
It's interesting. A lot of the first guys we saw go off the dock really came out swinging. We saw like 3 out of 4 dudes fall on their first pass going for it. And there's one Crow 5 for Harley, 1 trick down. He probably only needs about 1 more trick to advance through. And that might do it right there, even though it's just a tail grab front flip. Harley probably going to keep his hair dry on this one, breeze through, considering he already has a minor neck injury.
Right.
The toe side 900. You see Danny really getting that grab, and maybe that was why he popped the handle on that front mob 540. So Harley just kind of cruising through this run, not doing any doubles, no 1080s. So he's got a lot of tricks left in his bag to come out.
And Parks, one of the things that makes this guy so special as we take another look is he's so calculated. He knows exactly what he needs to do. That competitive state of mind gives him such an advantage in contests.
Absolutely. A lot of the guys are the same age as him and have not been competing as long, but he's been since a junior, since like 7, 8 years old, he's been competing. So with time, you get strategy, and your strategy just spikes.
So Clifford's score coming in, but he'll easily advance into the semis with that 76 there. He'll be taking on Rusty Malinoski. And the quarters are over, Parks. Our Final Four is officially set here. Hard to believe.
Yep, Harley took out Harf, and that was the last heat of the quarters, and now we're going to move on to the semis. Thankfully, you know, Danny Harf still has fantasy football to look forward to this year, so he still can win something.
We'll remind him of that when he gets out of the water. So the Final Four is set. Shota taking on the local boy Mike Dowy, and Rusty Malinoski taking on the top seed Harley Clifford. The World of X Games MasterCraft Throwdown is brought to you by GM Marine. Proven marine performance powering every MasterCraft. More from the fun from the Godfrey clan here at the MasterCraft Throwdown Cannonball. That is perfect form as we take another look. Parks, I give that a 10.
Yeah, I'm going to go 9-5. She didn't point her toes on entry, and, you know, with that kind of splash, you just can't go rewarding 10s.
You're a tough judge. You always have been. Actually, from there, that's a legitimate back flop is what that is.
10 for a back flop.
We're having fun here at the MasterCraft Throwdown. We're through the quarters, and it's now time for the semifinals. It's our first one between Shota Tezuka and the local boy, Mike Dowy. Parks. Both these guys getting in fairly easily with their competitors in the quarters unable to land their runs. So we'll see if these guys really push themselves. But there you see the local boy, Mike Dowy. He's got the home field advantage of sorts with so many friends and family here in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, absolutely. With Shota going behind you, who's first off the dock? Dowy is. Yeah, so with this format, there's just no room for sandbagging, no room for mistakes. Once again, these guys are in the semis now, and you're going to have to do a finals caliber run to get through this round.
Again, here in the semis, it's a Final Four. Each rider getting one run each. 4 tricks per run. Cannot play it safe. Haven't been able to play it safe all day, but especially here, if you want to get in the finals and try and get a medal, you've got to put it all out there on the water, and that's exactly what Mike Dowy plans on doing.
Yeah, out of the 4 brackets that we saw all the top seed guys get through. So with Dowy first off the dock, we'll see if he can put a stop to that trend. Coming in toe side, front side 900. Fixing his boot a little bit, not getting a grab. Keep in mind, these judges are judging these tricks a lot more strict than they typically would a normal wakeboard contest. There's only 4 tricks, so they're looking them up and down, and that's the trick he wanted, the Indy double back roll. Dowy's super psyched with that. Definitely the hardest trick in this run for him, and now if he can just get through. Oh no, Dowy. It looks like he was going for that hillside 900 that he wanted in the first round, and he just looked like he hit the abort button halfway through.
Parks, a really interesting move by him there, especially after landing that trick on the 3rd attempt. Could he have afforded to play it a little safer on that 4th?
Possibly, but you know, Shota can podium on a lot of these events too. So just because Shota's behind it doesn't mean that you can pump the brakes at all. And Dowy was going for the same run that he did in the last round. The Indy double back roll, stopping it, grabbing it all the way around. And man,
and there you
the
see
suspension on the dock.
Right there.
You can see how he just marched off with some pride and ready, because he knows that Dowy only got 2 tricks in.
So Dowy, the Michigan boy, he had the highest score in the quarterfinals with an 87, a 78 for him here in the semi. So he's got to hope that Shota either misses on a trick or just doesn't put down a score like that. But
well, keep in mind, he still did some hard tricks. That 80 double back roll, that toe side 900, like he got some tricks in, and he got with 3 tricks. Shota still has to go out there, complete 4 tricks, and still make them difficult.
Despite missing 1 trick, that's still a decent enough score. So he's left himself some wiggle room. But as you said, Shota, one of the most promising young riders in wakeboarding. Parks, this is a young cat I know you've gotten a chance to really watch grow.
Yeah, definitely. He rides out of Lake Roanoke all the time. Shota's been riding my pro model with Roanoke the last few years, and he goes so ballistically big on there. Charges double ups. Some of the biggest double ups I've ever seen in my life come from Shota. He's just so light, and it's almost like he doesn't know no better right now. He just goes and gets it and goes so big.
So Shota can afford to lay it all out there. He knows that Dowy did have a miss on his 4th attempt, so this one was a tough matchup. I think most people might have thought that Dowy may have had the advantage in this one. But perhaps not so. As long as Shota can put together a clean run with some difficult tricks, he may be advancing to the final.
Absolutely. Advantage definitely goes to Shota. Going second off the dock, getting to watch Dowdy's run. If Dowdy stood up 4 tricks, Shota could still manipulate his run and do some different maneuvers if he need to. But with Dowdy only completing 3, Shota can kind of reanalyze his run and figure out what he needs to do.
Right, and that can't be overstated enough. Being second in these heats,
it is
allowing
a huge
the
advantage.
other guy to put the bar down.
Toe side, front side 900. And again, I mean, just like Harley, Shota rides behind this MasterCraft X-Star all day, every day, too. So he is real familiar with this wake, knows how to get around. And you can see just in practice in these first 2 rounds how clean he is riding. And it looks like he's on his way to the finals if he can get one more trick here.
So like Dowdy, he's 3 for 3. This is it, his 4th and final trick.
Dowdy went down on this maneuver, and there it is, Melon, front side 720 for Shota. And Dowdy, you can see it on his face. He kind of knows that it might be the end of his throwdown run.
So as we take another look, the Shota fist pump tells you all you need to know about that run. He's got to feel good with his chances of getting into the final.
Yeah, Shota even sneaking in a little grab on that. It looked like in the first round he didn't really grab it, but it looks like he might have snuck a couple fingers in. There's a switch, toe side, front side 900. And here's the Melon front side 720. This is the trick that Shota needed to advance. Dowdy fell on this 4th trick right here, and keeping his hair dry, board shorts dry. That was a solid run. Shota's throwing up the shakas.
And you talking to Shota, you sensed a real appreciation for being out here. He understood the magnitude of this platform and this event and being amongst these 7 other riders.
Absolutely. I mean, when X Games was, when Danny was winning his last X Games, Shota was probably only like 11, 10 years old, you know? So I think he learned what X Games is about and what it really means to win a medal here. And you can see in his riding that he really wants to hang that medal around that neck.
So with the 81 from the judges, it is official. Shota Tezuka will be riding in our Throwdown final.
He's got to be psyched, man. I'm sure everyone in Japan right now is super amped that he made it through. He is jacked right now, man. He is super psyched. He's been training really hard for this, dialing in his tricks. I really haven't seen him bobble too much this whole week.
Well, you'd forgive these Michigan fans if they're a little bit in disbelief that their local boy, Mike Dowdy, is not advancing to the final. But we've got one more matchup here in the semis. This is one heavy hitters. Rusty Malinoski taking on Harley Clifford. Both guys oh so consistent, so smooth. This thing's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys duke it out every weekend. They've been battling on the podium. First place, second place, third place. Rusty's always around there, always in contention, always threatening Harley every weekend for the last 3 years. So these guys are real familiar with each other's riding. They probably even know exactly what tricks the other guy's going to go. And we'll see if that thought actually changes their run. Rusty knows that he's against the world's best wakeboarder right now, and he has to go hard into pain if he's going to get through to the finals.
Rusty put down an 86.66 in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, Rusty's been opening up, pulling super wide on that X-Star, doing a huge Indy backside 180. And I saw him bobble on that landing in practice one time, but not here in the semis. Rusty flowing through, one of the cleanest riders on tour. You very seldom see him butt check, drag his hand. Always typically gets a grab on a lot of his tricks. There's the Indy roll to blind. Saw him fall on that in practice, and that's got to be a big sigh of relief for Rusty.
So far, a very strong run. This is his final trick to put down a score and state his case to get into the final.
See him taking his time on that. Maybe there's some rollers in the course. Oh no, oh no, oh no. And the wrap, heel side, front side 900, and just losing the last handle pass. Even though you're wrapped up, you still have 2 or 3 handle passes you got to complete, and Rusty just slipped on one of them.
And that is something we don't see very often from the always consistent Rusty Malinoski. As we take another look at this run first, his first couple of tricks.
Man, it's so unfortunate that he fell on that last trick. He was so, I guarantee he is so pumped with this run. I talked to him earlier, he was contemplating not doing that huge roll to blind, and he ended up pulling it out, knowing he had to against Harley in the semis if he's going to get through. And look, he just missed that last handle pass with his left hand. And once one handle pass fails, you sink into the water pretty quick.
So we await his scores as Harley Clifford gets ready to drop in a 73.66 on his semifinal run. Disappointing for Malinoski. And he's consistent. And if he's consistent, Harley Clifford is that much more polished because he's been chasing him in events throughout the years. So Harley Clifford, it'll be interesting to see what he does here, Parks, again, because that was a decent enough score even with that fall. So Harley can't afford to play it too safe.
Yeah, I mean, Rusty, you know, he got a mute mob. He got that huge Indy backside 180, huge Indy roll to blind. The judges are really rewarding guys when they go big out into the flats and they're grabbing their board as much as Rusty does. So we'll see how that compares. If Harley does 2 900s and doesn't grab them, we'll see how that weighs out with the judges. And he still has to get 4 tricks, even though a little bit of the pressure's off on Harley right now. You know, Rusty just left the door open a little bit, and this is the guy that you do not want to give him an inch because he'll take a mile real quick.
Will Harley Clifford face Shota Tezuka in the final? We find out right now.
Locking in the nose grab on that Crow 5. Harley starting off super solid, knowing what he has to do and getting bucked out the back, almost pulled out the front, but Harley being the rider he is with board control, knowing that it was going to Ray, and he pulled it back down, keeping his hands out of the water and just casing the wake there. I'm telling you, Harley is lucky that Rusty fell on that last trick, because with this type of riding, not grabbing some tricks, casing the wake, it's going to dock against him on his final score. And to see even that slide around, like, he hardly got 4 tricks, but he still was bobbled on a couple of them, cased the wake on one, slid it around, and Rusty notices that, and he's still looking at it, and you can see how frustrated he is that he fell on that last trick, because with that run, that could have possibly beat Harley.
So there you see Rusty, fingers crossed, hoping maybe, as you said, the trick selection here might change his score a little bit.
I mean, it's hard to tell, man. That was a clean first trick, really grabbed that one. Coming back in, backside 720, kind of sloppy, no grab on that one, and then he comes in on the front mode 540 and just slides it around. So it's, you know, I would hate to be a judge in this spot. It's not like you can reward the guy who gets the most tricks. You have to keep in mind that quality counts in this as well. And Rusty's, the 3 tricks he did were just straight up better than Harley's, but we'll see.
Well, the 3 tricks outweigh the clean 4 tricks from Harley Clifford.
Taking that high-speed whip into the beach, throwing up the double shock, as Harley knows that he's probably through.
So who's
but not
getting
for sure.
into the finals? Harley Clifford with the 80 on the dot, advancing into the final. So it'll be Shota Tezuka taking on Harley Clifford in our MasterCraft Throwdown final. You don't want to miss this. More from Millennium Park when we return. A dream matchup between Shota Tezuka and Harley Clifford here at Millennium Park in Grand Rapids, Michigan. 2 of the best wakeboarders on the planet will square off for a chance at a gold medal. Huge crowds out here at Millennium Park to watch all of the antics. It's not just the wakeboarding parks. We've got a Guinness World Record attempt going down in just a little bit, and of course the Godfrey clan with their on-water antics, doing stuff with the blob, SkiFly, and of course more watercross.
Yeah, we take every bit of down, sprinkle a little Godfrey on it, and try to entertain us with his antics.
It's halftime show all time
exactly.
out here at Millennium Park.
If they could dribble 9 basketballs, they would be doing that too.
So here we are, more semis of watercross.
Open it up, probably about 3rd gear, topped out right now. Probably going about 65, 70 miles an hour. You see, as they bump down, it just ejects them out the front. And as soon as that front wheel goes under, you're going to go.
I've been corrected. That was the final.
Oh, well, hey.
Hope you took it in. That was
Buckle
it.
up, guys.
So let's get another replay on that one. And watercross in all its glory.
You can see these are just stock 450s too. They didn't have any type of add-on additions, kind of plates on the bottom to help it stay up on top. They were just relying on speed and a little Godfrey willpower to get them as far as they could out into the water.
So we got a clear winner in the in the Watercross final.
Kids, don't try that at home.
Well done.
Your dad will be severely mad you ruined his bike.
If you've got a dirt bike, don't go looking for water. So much more from Millennium Park here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, including our finals between Harley Clifford and Shota Tezuka. You don't want to miss this.
You missed it.
Hardware, that's what's on the line here at the MasterCraft Throwdown Final. What a matchup we have between two of the best in the world. Shota Tezuka versus Harley Clifford. And Parks, I love this matchup because you have Shota, who's finished second and third so many times. He's never won a major event against the guy who's won more than anyone ever before, Harley Clifford.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's anyone who wants a win, probably even worse than Harley Clifford, believe it or not, right now, it's Shota Tezuka. He's finished third and second numerous times, so he really wants to beat Harley. They actually used to be roommates. Shota used to live in Harley's house for a couple years, and that's when Shota first came to the United States. He would ride with Harley, and that's why Shota kind of got so good so quick.
It needs to be noted, the format here in the final, a little bit different. Each rider getting 2 passes, so it's not just one attempt of 4 tricks. They'll get 2 cracks at it.
And Shota's going to need it, because if you're going to beat Harley, it's going to take a couple runs. But at the same time, if you give Harley 2 runs, he's able to possibly land his double flip and complete a crazy couple passes. There's Shota doing back-to-back toe side 900s. And there's a nose grab, chrome up 540. It looks like he's doing this nice, easy breezy run that he's been doing in the last couple rounds, but can he tack on one gnarly trick here? And the Melon frontside 720 probably needed a 9 off of that one, but at the same time, he didn't want to fall and give Harley any more of an advantage than he already has.
So Shota's first pass officially in the books. Of course, he'll get another chance as we take another look.
There's Shota starting off with a regular frontside 900. Looks like he slapped the grab on that, possibly got it. Locking in a nice melon grab on that frontside 900. A little bit of a wobble on the landing. Keep in mind, these judges are critiquing these guys at a whole nother level, being known that there's only 4 tricks. And there's that 720. I guarantee you, Shota, seeing the way that the first guys off the dock fell, not completing the pass, he wanted to get 4 tricks under his belt and then go hard in the paint next time.
An 84.33 on his first attempt. Nothing wrong with that score, but as you said, we've been saying it all day. You guys can't afford to play it safe, but with so many guys missing on second and third attempts, not a bad strategy if you know you've got another chance at it to put at least one solid score up there on the board and really make Harley work for it, because he hasn't had to do that yet today.
Absolutely. When we were watching practice, Harley fell on his double tantrum twice. So I guarantee you Shota wanted to put up a medium hard run, make Harley think that he has to go for the double and take a risk on Harley possibly falling on that double tantrum again. But Harley is one of the clutchest riders out there. He pulls through when the pressure's on, and there's a good chance that he's going to go even harder at this double tantrum and pull it off. But if there's a trick that Harley is going to go down on, it's probably that double tantrum.
We started off with 8, and we are now down to the final 2. A gold medal at stake. There he is, the most dominant man in wakeboarding.
Yeah, definitely has the most wins in the past couple years than any other rider. I think he's probably only lost 3 or 4 contests, in the past few years. So I mean, his win to lose ratio is extremely high. Harley familiar with this wake, riding behind an X-Star at home. So same for Shota, so there's no advantage there. They're both super familiar with the way the wake forms. This lake is super deep, packed in with wake, so makes for a great final. We saw Shota do that same trick, nose grab, chrome level 540. Yeah. A lot of the times Harley will do the same tricks that you do in your run just to play with you sometimes, man. Yeah, it's crazy. There's the heel mob 540, a spin and a half with a back roll, one of the most tech moves that you can do. Toe side 900, not even flinching for a grab on that one, and the judges are going to dock him a little bit, and here it comes. This could possibly be the double tantrum. Does he need it, or is he going to go front mode 5 like he did? He did front mode 5 like he did in the first round. Harley's really knowledgeable in contesting. I think he knew that that run would beat Shota, so he probably went for that and is going for the double next time.
Well, that's what's so scary about Harley Clifford, Parks. He's won 8 of 11 events in 2015. You take the natural talent that he has combined with the mental preparation and strategy he brings to the table, it makes for an unbeatable recipe.
Really does. He's so consistent, so technical. He can literally do every trick out there. Sometimes he does it a little sloppy. He doesn't always grab his tricks, but his amplitude is always high, and he's doing the hardest tricks, bar none. And there's the Mobe 5, one of the most hardest tricks to do. There's another front Mobe 540. So doing 2 different 540-degree spins mixed with a flip. That's a super technical run, and I think he knew that would be Shota, and that's why I'm just interested to see how the second run's going to go for these guys.
Again, each rider getting 2 attempts here in this finals matchup, unlike just the one they got in the quarters and semis. So they can afford to put a score on the board and take it from there, each getting 2 passes. Harley Clifford's score coming in at an 86.33, so that actually puts him into the top spot, at least temporarily, with Shota still having 1 more attempt to go.
Yeah, exactly. Harley knew that he didn't have to do that double tantrum and risk falling and putting any more pressure on himself in that second run than he needed to. He knew if he just did that front Mobe 540 that he'd get it. He probably saw Shota bobble a little bit on that front side 720, the last trick that Shota did. And keep in mind, with only 4 tricks, there's no room for a wobble, bobble, nothing.
So Clifford leapfrogging Shota into the top spot, but can Shota take it back? Here's his chance. He's got to lay it all on the line. This is his last attempt to try and get into the gold medal position.
Yeah, we're going to see it right here. Shota's probably going to do probably 3 900s. That heel side 720 that he did on his final trick will probably be a front side 900. So Shota's got some tricks to definitely make Harley try this double and risk falling here in the second pass. And this is what it all comes down to. Shota's in second place right now, knowing that he has to pull through. Toe side 900, not casing the wake like you saw Harley do in the earlier round. Shota keeping it clean. Nose grab, chrome up 540. You've seen him do that in every round thus far. And Shota has not even gotten his hair wet at all since he's been riding here this whole weekend. There's the heel side 900, the front side 900, and just digging his heel edge. Man, man, man. And you know what that means.
So with that, Harley Clifford officially winning the MasterCraft Throwdown, but Shota, gosh, he really pushed him. Yeah. Would have been so good to see him land that, Parks.
It would have made for some good TV if we would have saw Shota land that run. But you know what? With good TV, you know, Harley still gets to go, so who knows what we're going to see. Oh, no, sorry, excuse me. Harley doesn't get to go. He gets to sit in the victory seat and just soak up a gold medal for a little bit.
Take another look through those attempts. 1 trick down, 2 tricks down, and then where does it go wrong, Parks?
Looks like he got a clean takeoff. Really pull the handle, and that's how he generates his speed. This is 2.5 rotations. He gets all the handle passes, lands, and just over-rotated it just a little bit and got back on his heels. And you see, as soon as you dig an edge, it pulls the handle out, and Harley is just rolling in the dough right now, giving Dowy a big high five. Harley is so psyched right now.
So here's Harley Clifford. He doesn't even need to take his second pass because he already knows he's won the gold medal as he's getting love as he hits the beach. And it's official, our first ever MasterCraft Throwdown in the books. And it's Harley Clifford, the most dominant man in wakeboarding. What else did you expect than he to take the top spot? Let's head down to Alyssa, who's with our gold medalist.
All right, guys, I have a new part of my job here. So, Harley, congratulations. Yes. You're our first MasterCraft Throwdown gold medalist. Just come on in. Harley, what did you think about this new contest format today?
Oh my God, that was such a fun day. You know, like it was so hectic, you know, riding like straight after one another, but I mean, there was so much pressure on, and it was very key to stand up, and I did that, and I couldn't be more stoked.
You were second in this last run. Was there an advantage to going second?
Oh, definitely. You know, Shota went out before me, and I saw what tricks he did, and I knew exactly what I had to go do, and I did it, and then he went out after me, and then he crashed, and I didn't even have to take my second run. I couldn't be more happy.
Got to save your legs. Well, congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys.
There's a reason they call him the Phenom, the most dominant man in wakeboarding, Harley Clifford, getting the gold medal. But still, so much more to come. Here in Grand Rapids, a Guinness World Record attempt. Freddy Krueger in the SkiFly jump. You don't want to miss this. we see Freddy Krueger as he gets ready to stare history directly in the face. But it's now time for John Brinkus and the team to break down what it'll take for Freddy Krueger to soar further than anyone has before. This is ESPN Sports Science, presented by GM Marine.
Water skier Freddy Krueger will be attempting to break the current world SkiFly record of 299 feet. Here's a breakdown of what he needs to do to pull it off. In testing, Freddy calculated that to fly at least 300 feet when he hits the ramp, his optimal velocity is 72 miles an hour. The boat is only traveling 45 miles an hour. So to increase speed, Krueger utilizes centripetal force. A 104-foot-long tow rope keeps Krueger on a curved path around the boat. When he makes cuts, centripetal force helps him accelerate along the curve and ski 60% faster than the boat. Although the ramp is 14 feet wide, because Krueger is moving on an arc, his window to hit the ramp and stay on it all the way to the top is really only about 2 feet wide. And speeding at more than 105 feet per second, his window of opportunity is only open for less than 0.02 of a second, about the time it takes for his boat's propeller to make 1 1/4 rotations. And amazingly, Krueger has to initiate his cut when he's more than 3 basketball courts away from the ramp. Now, the surface of the ramp is coated with wax and a very thin layer of water. This decreases the coefficient of friction Krueger's skis experience by more than 50%. This extremely slick surface actually allows Krueger to continue accelerating to 80 miles an hour at the top of the ramp. While airborne, Krueger leans forward over his skis at a roughly 30-degree angle. Much like an airplane wing, this aerodynamic position creates higher air pressure beneath Krueger, potentially giving him enough lift to fly the length of a football field. For ESPN Sports Science, I'm John Brinkus.
Well, for more on the attempt, let's head down Lakeside with Alyssa.
Thanks, Brando. You know, you can really look at SkiFly as a team sport. You have Freddy, you have his driver, Les Todd, and you have this boat, or more specifically, this engine. The Ilmor MV8 570 was hand-built by the folks at Ilmor High Performance. They've built engines that have powered 19 Indy 500 wins, and this one, it's 570 horsepower at 6,000 RPMs. It's a lot of power. And if you like to geek out on engines, it sounds real pretty. So, Les, you want to fire up? All right, Brando, back to you.
That does not sound like a boat, Parks. That is beautiful.
That is an animal right there. I can't believe they just hand-built that thing, especially for Freddy and this jump to help get him over 300.
Well, the World of X Games MasterCraft Throwdown is brought to you by GM Marine. Proven marine performance powering every MasterCraft. The record historic attempt coming up when we return. We're just moments away from watching that man, Freddy Krueger, attempt a world record SkiFly. Does he have it in him? We'll find out just moments from now. But to make this thing really official, Guinness Book of World Records is in the house. Let's head it down to Alyssa, who's down there with our official adjudicator, I believe.
That's right. Without this man right here, Alex Anger, nothing is official. So, Alex, we know that yesterday Freddy went 3:12. Today he's going 3:13. He's going to try. What does he have to do to be officially amazing?
So we've already certified Freddy's jump from yesterday. It is an official Guinness World Records title, but he wants to do even more. So we're going to take the measurement from the takeoff ramp to where his ski hits the water, and we've got multiple cameras to get pinpoint accuracy.
And where will you be watching this from?
I'll be right here on the beach watching his jump, and we'll be able to get a pretty instant number to know if he sets the official Guinness World Records title.
All right, well, Alex, thank you. And with no further ado, let's get back up to you guys, and let's get to Freddy.
Freddy Krueger jumping for 312. Think about that for a second, Parks. 300 feet, that's a football field. He wants to go past that.
And some.
And he did it yesterday.
Yeah, he's pretty much jumping through the field goal. Like, it's ridiculous. And this is some pretty good wind direction. He wants about 5 miles an hour of a headwind blowing out of about 1 or 2 o'clock. It's super critical that he gets this. Cutting super wide. See how fast he accelerates through.
And
here we go. Jump number 1 for Freddy Krueger coming in. Can he get over the 312 barrier? Oh, he got a kick. He's going. Oh, man. That is going to be close.
He looks like he knows he got it. That was unbelievable.
I'm telling you, he wouldn't be celebrating like this if he knew that wouldn't be close, man.
He knew even in the air what he had, right? I mean, we got to see that one more time. That was incredible.
It all builds up. All that tension, that rope tension builds up right to the bottom of the jump. And you see as he comes off, at this point, he's probably like, I got this in the bag. You can see that 312 buoy. I think he landed past. I think that's 316-ish.
And he is in the air forever.
It's ridiculous, man. Like 35, 40 feet going 75, 80 miles an hour. You have no room to crash on this. If you crash, that could possibly be your last jump ever.
Yes. Giving the people what they want out here. And we await the record. There you saw his dad, Fred, watching on. So that number coming in, the judges are saying it was 304 feet, Parks.
Oh, my gosh.
Can you believe that?
I can't believe it. I mean, he still cracked the 300 barrier. It's been 15 years since someone's jumped 299. So for the fact that they got SkiFlying up and going again, it took a hiatus for like 15 years because the consequences are that gnarly. If these guys crash on these jumps going 80 miles an hour from 40 feet up, I'm serious. Like, it can really injure them. So everyone took a hiatus. Everyone took a break. And Freddy's the one that goes, you know what? I want to crack that 300 barrier. And we just saw 304 right there.
He's got one more chance. As you said, 299 stood for 15 years. He's gone over 300 twice in less than 24 hours. But here he goes on his second and final attempt. Can he get past 312?
He's definitely bringing it down on the 6 on this one. He's waiting later, seeing if he can get a little more speed at the bottom. Can he get the kick? It looks like his skis maybe slipped out a little bit. Not quite. Oh, and a gnarly little tangle up there as Freddy goes down. Looks like he might have caught his tip of his ski, but I don't think that's as far as his first one anyway. So
yeah, it's frustration. There you see his wife, also a pro skier. Family affair out there. It's a bittersweet thing, isn't it, Parks? I mean, he already has the record, albeit it was at practice yesterday, so he knows his name's in the book no matter what. But God.
Yeah, I mean, going 312 feet yesterday, I was talking to Freddy. I was like, man, don't you wish you kind of went like 302 yesterday, and then it would be a little easier to break it? But he was like, no, man, the conditions were perfect. That's why we went for it. It all linked up. It all came together on that jump yesterday. And I've seen some jumps in my day, and that was bar none the farthest, biggest thing I've ever seen in the history of ski flying.
Well, the ski fly is so taxing on the body.
Man, look at that.
Ouch.
That's just brutal. I mean, thank God he didn't crash from 35 feet up, but that doesn't look much easier.
So after posting 312 and breaking the record yesterday, today would have just been icing on the cake. Exactly. There we see our two big winners of the day. Of course, Harley Clifford winning earlier in our wakeboard event. And his name's back in the record books. Freddy Krueger, SkiFly. There we see Alex Angert. You know it's official when he's rounding the corner with that plaque. There you see Karen Truelove, his wife. And let's go down to Alyssa, who's with Freddy.
All right, Freddy, you put on quite a show today, but yesterday you officially broke the world record. You've said you grew up reading Guinness Book of World Records, thumbing through those things. What does today mean to you?
You know what? This is so much of a culmination of a dream for me. I've always wanted to be the best at something. Today I can officially say that. And I cannot thank MasterCraft and ESPN for all they've done to give a guy like me a chance like this.
Well, let's make you officially something else. Let's bring in Alex Angert. Alex, do you want to give him his plaque?
So yesterday, Freddie, you hit a jump of 312 feet, setting a new Guinness World Records title for the farthest distance water ski flying. Freddie, you're officially amazing.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Freddie. What do you guys have to say to that?
You know, again, you know, I'm going to get a lot of the attention here, but there's been so many people behind the scenes that have brought this together. And, you know, my wife and I always talk about being a team, and this was a team effort for real. And, you know, I'll never forget this.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
One of the best guys you'll ever meet, Parks Bonifay. Congratulations to Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, true privilege that we got to see that jump so big, so long, so far. I'm just glad that Freddie took the initiative and really wanted to break this 300-foot barrier and get a new world record.
Well, congratulations to Harley, Clifford, and Freddy Krueger. Coming up next on ABC, Special Olympics World Games LA 2015, presented by Bank of America. I'm Brandon Graham for Parks Bonifay, Alyssa Ronick, and our entire crew saying so long from Grand Rapids, Michigan.